It's the 12th of January. I was going to say June then because my mind is gone. 12th of January. Can you believe that we are 12 days into the new decade already? It's kind of a surprise to me. I remember the first couple of days into the new year being frustrated. I say new year, I mean new decade. I'm kind of seeing it as a blank slate. Taking the last 10 years and kind of just blanking that slate and starting a new, fresh decade. At the beginning of the decade, I was kind of annoyed that things hadn't set off the decade the way I wanted. And then literally 2 days in, 3 days in, stuff out of the blue just came and I ended up like finding a bit of work, which is going to help massively over the next couple of months. And so that was kind of unprecedented, really. And maybe it's part of Dale's prayers and my prayers for the change in energies and direction, and it just sort of happened. It sort of come out. I don't know if it came out of nowhere, if it was something that was building up to it, but I'm glad it did. And I kind of wrote out more of a post today. I tend to do that a lot recently, is write out the blog post first, then record the video afterwards. But also, I was missing recording some video. You know, like when you're... This is probably only something that vloggers will really understand, but it's not just playing with the equipment. It's wanting to utilize the equipment, but it's also wanting to have a dialogue. Because we talk about making content, but what we're really saying is we don't get to have enough dialogue with the people that we see and interact with and probably would hang out with in real life because of distance and because of careers and life and everything else. So this is kind of a intermittent way of doing it, is by communicating using the wonders of video. So yeah, I was a little bit frustrated in my ranty post today about the systems that are in place from day to day in terms of fiat, from blockchain to fiat. For the last 2 or 3 years, I've pretty much been invested in blockchain technology in terms of, is it reliable, is it fast, what are the costs, what are the ramifications of it, is it really better than centralized stuff? And it's kind of led up to a point which in the next few days I should be able to tell you a little bit more about. But I had to deal with fiat centralized systems this past week, and it was really frustrating in terms of like not knowing what's happening. You know, I've got so used to blockchain stuff just working, and even if it's going to take, even in the times of like November, December, like a year back when we were at like 20,000 Bitcoin and you were paying 40 or 50 pound for a, you know, to take stuff out of Bitcoin. And it was kind of slow, you know, you'd wait maybe 45 minutes to an hour. That felt like, oh my God, is this going to work? Is this transaction failed? Or is, you know, what's happened to the funds and stuff? But it's been pretty damn reliable. I can only think of maybe one time where things were slow, but eventually it happened. But with the centralized world, the world of banking, the world of systems, the world of taking a digital photo of an analog document to verify things, is just mind-blowing to me that companies don't look at their IT expenditure and where money is getting burnt on legacy systems being maintained, and then not looking, and then hearing about stories of efficiency with blockchains and not even just dipping their toe in a little bit to make some of their systems blockchain enabled or powered. To really understand the resilient nature of these systems and why people are flocking to them, or why people are using them in their daily life, because they are this distributed system. Even if one of the nodes falls over, there's another node to take over. So that's been kind of eye-opening this week, of like systems that need to catch up desperately, because we probably spend more money on things like homelessness, and trying to keep like city centers running by bringing in like nail shops and all these things, when really if we kind of ran things in parallel, if we ran a little blockchain project alongside, you know, the fiat version of it, I guarantee you we'd see better efficiencies on the blockchain side of things. So it's been a frustrating week, but I'm hoping next week is going to be a lot better. And if not, well, we just keep on stepping through, don't we? That's what life's about. But yeah, a few little rants about fiat stuff this week. I'm hoping to do a lot more on living with blockchain stuff in the next 6 months. I want to really drill down and document to people who are kind of scared about Bitcoin and exchanges and all that kind of stuff, and actually do it from a real world perspective of somebody who uses this stuff on a daily basis, and step through and show people how easy it is and how reliable it is, and the governance feeling that it gives you when you take back your time. Saving that time allows you to do other things, and that has been a big shock to me, to see how efficient blockchain verification, validation is compared to like trying to get answers from centralized stuff. It's been quite the task this last week. All right, I will catch up with you later in the week. I've got a presentation coming out tomorrow on video on YouTube. You might not want to miss that, because I think it's a pretty good story, and people who've been looking at this whole story of decentralized video and YouTube taking crypto videos down, or anybody in 2020 who wants to take governance over their video hosting and get away from some of these centralized platforms, I think you're going to want to watch it. All right, I'll catch up with you soon. Take care. Bye.
Drifting slow.